Hi, welcome to my channel, Lead with Love. And with this video, I'm gonna talk about your higher self. I found several articles that will help, but I'm gonna put them in different sections. The the article that I like the most is the Lonerwolf article. So I'm gonna go with that one first, but I have two others that I would like to talk about also. Because everyone all want to reach a higher consciousness. So, but you first got to know what it means, right? So with the Google search, when I search it up, to higher self is a term associated with multiple belief systems. It's it is basic premises, but it describes an external, omnipotent consciousness, an intelligent being who is one's real self. I'm going to just go straight into the Lonerwolf article because it's actually a great article. It's a 10-minute read, so I'm going to try to cut it short, not make it too long, this video. It's 11 Ways to Connect with Your Soul by ALTHEIA Luna. It was written February 10th of 2020, so it is current, it's recent, it is up to date. So 11 ways to connect with your soul. It's your higher self. Your higher self is yourself. It's the person deep within yourself. You have to drop your ego. You have to drop all this material things, the cars, the clothes, the girls, the money, like all that has to take the back seat, and you have to be one with yourself. You have to know yourself. Only way you really know yourself is when you spend time alone by yourself. You know your real self. But I'm going to go into the article and we'll see what the article says. I am going to include it in the description box. So the link is going to be there. You can go straight into the article if you want to read it on your own time and check it out, because it has other information there also that you might be interested in. So, 11 ways to connect with your soul. Through the ages, the higher self has been given many names. The inner self, soul, your soul, Christ consciousness, beloved, Buddha nature, and spirit. Regardless of what we call this fundamental inner core, it's our deepest, most divine essence. It's what's deep within yourself. But you have to unravel it. You have to get past all these layers to get to it. Yet, despite being familiar with these concepts, many of us still struggle to understand the higher self and its role in our lives. In other words, how can we transform this topic from an intellectual concept into a feeling that we experience? Like, you want to experience your higher self. You want to know your higher self. You want to get there. You want to grow, you want to heal, you want to evolve, and you want to reach a higher level of consciousness. You want to know your higher self. So the higher self is your true nature. It is your wise, unconditional, loving, creative, whole, and external inner center. Is deep down. We all have it. We all carry a certain level of resonance with these words. We all have this higher self. We just have to get to it. We have to unravel ourselves. We have to know ourselves. We recognize that there is something mysterious within us, something sacred. What few of us manage to come to terms with, however, is that our higher self totally goes beyond our conditioned fears, limiting beliefs, wounds, and ego fixations. It actually represents our most authentic state of being that we've lost touch with in modern life. While our higher selves are completely free, they can be blocked, repressed, and denied by the limited ego or the small self. So that could be religion, like things that limit you. They stopped you and they hold you back. And it's like you have to come to terms with it. You have to come to terms with yourself and these limited beliefs, things that stop you, things that block you. They shared a story about a lake. So I don't know if I read the story about the lake, if you can put it in reference to it, like maybe you can understand it a little better. So I'll just read the story about the lake, the ocean, and maybe it can describe a way you can think to describe your higher self, something that's within you. You just have to find it. Like in the article, it wants to share a story that will help illustrate what the higher self is. Once there was a great ocean. All of existence was birthed from this great ocean, lived off this great ocean, and returned back to this great ocean. In the beginning, millions upon millions of tiny rivers sprung up from this great ocean. Each river snaked across the land like delicate veins. But one day a great drought came, and no one saw it coming. The scorching sun dried up each snaking river so greatly that they all turned into lakes. The scorching sun dried up each snaking river. So the rivers turned into lakes, and they were no longer connected to the great ocean. So they felt great loneliness and isolation. And as time went by, each little lake became more and more depressed, forgetting the great ocean. And one day a shaman came to drink from one of the lakes, and he noticed that it was depressed. "Why are you so sad?" he asked. The lake, despondent and gloomy, responded. That means the lake. The lake responded, "Because I'm nearly dried up and there is little water left. Time is running out, and soon I will be gone forever." The shaman peered intently at the lake and laughed hysterically. "Silly lake, don't you know that you are connected to the great ocean? Although you change, you are changeless. Your water evaporates and returns back to the great ocean. It is then reborn, repurposed, and redistributed. How can you live or die? You are birthless and deathless. You are in all things. You are all things." This story is the best way I can think to best describe the higher self. We are like the lakes in the story. We believe that we are separate, isolated, and cut off because of the ego. But something within us, the shaman in parentheses, continuously drives us closer to the truth through the voice of intuition, instinct, and deep knowing. So it's something within yourself, like the shaman was the intuition telling you that you come from this great ocean. Eventually in life, we have an illuminating moment of self-realization or remembrance that we are rivers, that we are connected to the great ocean, and the river represents the highest self. The great ocean represents spirit, source, or oneness. Benefits of connecting with your higher self. Here are some inevitable benefits of reconnecting with your true nature. In fact, I prefer to think of these as benefits, as semi-permanent to permanent shifts of being, depending on how strong the encounter is. So it's like lowered or completely diminished anxiety. It's gone. Once you know your higher self, like all these feelings go away. The anxiety goes away. Lowered or completely diminished depression. Openness and receptivity to life. Like you enjoy life and you're more open to things. Creativity and inspiration. You're more creative. You're inspired more. Enhancement of intuition and spiritual personal gifts. We all have gifts. You have to pay attention. You have to pay attention. You have to follow your intuition. You have to listen to your intuition. We don't want to listen to our intuition, and we always want to follow the crowd. And it always leads us the wrong way. And your intuition will never lead you wrong. It'll always give you the right answer. You always have the right feeling when you follow your intuition. You have a greater tolerance and patience. That took, when I reached my higher self, I was able to have more patience and tolerance towards things, because I was always impatient. I would get angry. I would start shit. But now it's like I could just tolerate a lot. I don't care. And I have a lot of patience. A lot of patience. No longer fearing death. I don't fear death. They always trying to kill me, but I'm not scared. Like nothing scares me. Developing a mystical perception of life. That's true, because I say I'm a mystic and I like mystic things. I like to hear the stories and the myths, the fables. In Yoruba, we call them patakis. Patakis. Those are the stories. Like, I like all the stories. I like to know it. Cultivating unconditional love for self and others. Love is the highest vibration. If you didn't know, love is the highest vibration, and love is unconditional. And you have unconditional love for yourself and for others. These benefits touch only the tip of the iceberg when it comes to experiencing your higher self. Because the experience is so individualized and personal, we taste different benefits to different degrees. Like, we all go through things differently. You all experience things differently. It'll be similar, but it's different. Everyone has a story. We all have a story. Most people, they experience their higher self when they nearly die. They have to experience something traumatic in life, like a near-death experience, and then they meet their higher self, and they're like, "Oh, I met my higher self," or "I saw this white light." Like, you hear stories where people do talk about it. Let me go back to this article. All of my deepest fears were exposed and laid completely bare in front of me. For about an hour or more, I experienced waves of the purest forms of anxiety, paranoia, terror, insanity, and loneliness imaginable. Despite constantly feeling on the verge of madness, I managed to surrender and accept what was happening. This shamanic experience awakened me to the existence of my higher self, or what I prefer to call divine nature. Thankfully, traumatic experiences aren't the only way to connect to your higher self. Traumatic experiences, it's so heavy on your soul and on your spirit. Like, you want to evolve from it. You want to get past it. So, and then it's like it awakens something in you, and it makes you stronger, and you're growing and you're healing, and you're doing this all by yourself. No one is there to hold your hand and be like, "Oh, come here, let's do that." No, you got to do all this work. You got to do it by yourself. Other people encounter the higher self during activities such as meditation. Meditation works. You can also go on YouTube, and they have meditation videos. You could just listen to them. They have the hertz. They have different hertz. If you listen to the different hertz, some of them can be too high and they bother you. Then you go to a lower hertz. You have to practice your mind and your body to hear them. Fasting, drinking water, wilderness retreats, dreams, visions, or even near-death, out-of-body experiences. However, for everyone, the situation or technique is different. There is definitely no one prescribed way to experience the higher self. Sometimes we experience our higher selves in completely spontaneous and ordinary circumstances. Go deeper with a higher self journaling prompt. So, and then with this site, it leads you to other sites, and it leads you to like worksheets. You can download the worksheets. It's free, and it has a lot of points. I didn't even get to the 11 points. Let me read them. So here are some paths and practices that may help you reconnect with your higher self. Discover the face of your higher self. What does your sacred self look like or resemble? You might like to use visualization, inner journeying, or self hypnosis to help you with this. Although your higher self is ultimately beyond all labels and forms, it helps to have a visual perception to aid the human mind. What does your higher self feel like? When you have a mystical experience or a spontaneous meeting with the deeper part of you, what sensations arise within your body? How does your chest, belly, head, and body as a whole feel? Like your changes, you document your changes, write it down. You can also connect with your intuition to help you answer this question. As your intuition is the voice of your soul, your higher self, and it provides direct access to the external part within you. Pay attention to what that inner voice of your intuition feels like within you. Is it a soft whisper, or perhaps it's a feeling of inner stillness, calmness, compassion, or deep knowing? What message does your higher self have for you? That's automatic writing, dream analysis, oracle cards. Those are tarot cards. Helps you get to your higher self. Make time for silence and contemplation every day. Journaling, writing a journal, keeping a journal, and just writing things down. I do that, and then I always go back to it because things happen, I write it down, and I don't think about it. And then for me to remember or go back to it, I have to read it to remember what happened that day and that time. So a lot of things happen, but I don't it's like I don't care. So I don't remember it. The things I care about and hold deeply with, I care about. But other things I don't care. Explore what things you can surrender and let go of. Those are like pros and cons. What is baggage? What is stress? If it's not helping your life, it's not bettering your life, you need to let it go. You have to let it go. And sometimes you got to write it down. The pros and the cons. 6. In what ways can you accept and love yourself and others more? How to love yourself. Self-forgiveness. I always say love yourself. Try non-resistance, going with the flow for one day. Here's an experiment. Commit to allowing everything to happen as it happens, including your thoughts, emotions, and external circumstances. Try this for at least one day. How do you feel? The more we resist life, the more we are stuck within our dualistic minds. Non-resistance doesn't mean being a pushover or a doormat. It's important to create boundaries and say no. Instead, non-resistance is a philosophy towards life. It honors reality, and the more connected we are with reality, the more access we have to our higher self. It's like a lot of things in life. They're lessons for you, and you have to learn to create boundaries, because sometimes you don't create boundaries and then you end up repeating the same lessons because you did not put up your boundaries and you didn't learn the lesson, and the same things keeps happening. And that reminds me of setting up boundaries, because I gotta set up boundaries. Everyone has to set up boundaries, and you have to know what you are not going to allow. What are you not going to put up with, so it can stop happening. Discover who or what your spirit guide is. Spirit guides are powerful beings that help us connect with the truth, courage, wisdom, and love within us. Whether you believe them to be archetypes or actual independent energies is irrelevant. They can help you connect with your higher self by guiding you into rediscovering who you really are. Find your soul place. We all have at least one soul place on earth. A soul place is a special site or spot where we experience unique feelings of belonging, empowerment, and energetic rejuvenation. Finding your soul place will help you to connect with your true self by relaxing and slowing down your nervous system, as well as inspiring you to be introspective and mindful. Practice mirror work. Mirror work. When you stare gently into your own eyes in a mirror and call on the presence of your soul, what do you feel? What do you experience? The eyes. After all the mirrors of the soul, see if you can gently move past the voices of self-judgment that naturally arise when doing this activity, and tap into your inner source. This is a powerful and rapid way of reconnecting with your higher nature. Read more about mirror work. So, like when you go into this article, it does have a link. And you just click on it because it says mirror work, and you just click on it and it'll take you directly there. Connect with the present moment. Awakening to your true nature can only and ever happen right here, right now, in the present moment. This is the secret passed down through ancient traditions and spiritual teachings. Paradise is here within you. The kingdom of heaven is now. The difficulty we face in this monkey mind that is constantly running around trying to get us to some special future place. But the beauty and ultimate compassion of life is that you don't have to find your higher self or soul in the future. Is right here within you. Unfortunately, most of us struggle to settle into the simple but sacred, scared truth. Our minds have such a strong grip on us that we can barely sit still for 2 seconds without squirming and trying to avoid how we feel. This is why a combination of spirituality and psychology is so important. We need psychology to help unite our inner knots, and we need spirituality to help loosen the mind. So, psychology is good, spirituality, everything is connected. Everything is connected. To connect with your higher self, try establishing a regular meditation practice. Explore different meditation techniques, such as following the breath, open awareness, body scans. It's like following your breathing patterns, like have a flow. See what works for you. Sometimes a combination techniques works best. If you need help, try downloading meditation apps. Meditation is all over YouTube, and they go by the hertz. So you can just check it out. You can listen to it. Just listen to it, and it's music, but you have to quiet yourself, relax your mind, your body, and connect to yourself. And that's how you get to your higher self. And you do little by little every day. It gets better. You can go longer times. The longer you do it, the more practice you have doing it, the better you get, and the longer you can last meditating. I didn't like to meditate and take my time and listen to this music, but then it's like I got to the point where meditation music was the only thing that was relaxing, because I would listen to tarot so much and it was always the same stories, and I'm just like, you know what, let me switch and I'll listen to Pandora, or I'll listen to the Hertz music, and it just relaxes the mind and you become closer to yourself, your inner self. I'm rambling. Thanks for listening. I'm going to put the Lonerwolf article in the description box so you can check it out. And you can click on the link. It is going to help you, and it has a lot more information I didn't even get into, because it's a 10-minute read, but it has a lot of information on the website. So once you click on the site, you can check everything out for yourself, and you might find something that interests you. So thanks for watching, and always lead with love, and have a good day.